How's it going all? This is basically a bit of a run through in the houses of Elder Scrolls Online. We're starting off this adventure, so to speak, with my own houses, of course. Thought I can't really put myself in the position to make comments about other people's places without letting people see my own sort of creativity first. I've seen some fantastic houses in Elder Scrolls, and I really think people deserve to get it seen out there. And I'd really like to be the one that helps you see it. So, we're going to start off going through three of my houses, my only three. Unlike many, I've only got those three at this stage. More will be coming. Each of my houses has a theme. They match the theme of my character. This is Doc Vamp's. I am a ancient vampire. I am a master in most weapons. Master in getting killed a lot too, it seems. But hey, undead. Go figure. And I am very partial in exploration. Hence my journey on a ship to a place called Stros. This place is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Not too populated. It's got a lot of little bits and pieces around that you can pick up, as you can see. Bit of platinum. And more importantly, it has one of the very first houses that I fell in love with that was available to be gotten. So, wandering through the streets of Stros, you can see it's not the richest of towns, but I think it's got a lot of character. One of the main things I love about it is the sailing ships. Let's speed this up a little, get over there. I love the views of ships, ports, sea. So I decided that the first house I'd get would be the Stros. This house has undergone many changes since I first got it. But now its theme is an actual fortress. The idea being that I wanted to create a fort, not a house. So, let's go in and see what you think. Oh, I love loading screens. If you think this picture is what's going to be seen, be aware. Many plants were removed to make this picture. Though some were put back in. But here we are. I am an Ebon Heart-packed warrior. So, as you can imagine, I will be displaying Ebon Heart-packed stuff. This is the entry into my house. I have a couple of guardians at the front gate, of course. And then my emblazoned shield. Now, I don't have a lot of the goodies that most people have. Most of the stuff that I get from the achievement furniture is where I really did well because of the fact I've finished so many of the achievements, storylines and stuff, to unlock a lot of gear. But most of the stuff I do have the patterns for. My first point is this house has a magnificent view, and as you can see, got my ships in it, a couple of lighthouses. So I decided I better defend myself from land. I added a walkway because unfortunately devs decided we didn't want to walk on this wall. And of course my siege gear and seating for the soldiers while they eat their dinner in the shade. Some tents for sleeping. But once again, I just want to show you that view of the far side oceans. Oh, the game's jump mechanics working at its best. So I'm kind of partial to this side and the view from this side because it has the big sailing ship, but unfortunately this is the smaller of the options. Now, I'm gonna kind of bypass a little bit of the house and exclude your view for a moment, just because I want to show you something specifically along the lines of what I really wanted people to see when they first... Oop, gonna get eaten alive. Oop, still getting eaten alive. When they sailed into the harbour, so to speak. This is what I wanted people to see. Wanted about to have some sort of presence as you sail past this place. So I better have some sort of fortification to let people know they can't turf war me. Build a wee outpost on the island, sleeping quarters for the watch crew, siege gear, defences, not letting my soldiers get killed without a fight, and of course the view that you see as you sail in would be that of a fortress. Coming on out. Slaughterfish again. So the whole idea was to turn this house into a fort. It's got such wicked fortifications and everything. Unfortunately not enough house items available, but sieging this place would be interesting. You might make a wee note of a hole over here. The idea of that is, gotta go out fishing sooner or later. But it is a very sturdy gate to stop any assault later on. And of course, I have a habit of liking fire, funny enough, for a vampire. I built this place in the aspect of a conqueror who's captured a fort and decided to upgrade the defences. So hence the different stone textures. But I think you'll find my gate adds a little bit of defiance. And then of course fortify the place where you can get the least amount of warriors. A bit of fencing extra. And the vulnerable spots, we just added a little bit extra firepower. Added a courtyard in here with a wee bit of ornament. And of course my Vardenfell had to be done. And then of course we have lighthouse. And inside the lighthouse we have the medic sleeping areas. For the ones on call for emergency medical duties. And upstairs of course is the main watch crew. A wee bit of a throne so they have a good lookout. A few wee gadgets, plenty of fire, and at night it is very well emblazoned. I will do a night tour of the houses later on. But as a watchtower, this view is just astounding. So pretty cool. The next thing I wanted to do was actually create a way to get up on to the higher ramparts that were on the defensible side. So of course we had to add a wee bit of a stairway around the lighthouse. Bit of extra protection for the main gate. And when I get a chance, I will add more siege gear. But I should point out, when you go in here, you will see that traditional furnishings is 600. I've pulled out a lot of the really cool stuff that I wanted to add, so I could put other things in, like my, storage chests to fill up the rooms. But I still only have 14 left, so I'm very, very sparingly adding extras. But as you can see, it's a pretty good view from up here. And once again, we have access inside available. From this side, if you need to get inside quickly and easily, it can be done. And of course, we have our soldiers' quarters. A few extra siege gear weapons, plenty of sleeping arrangements and horses for the cavalry, and of course everyone likes food. got to be done. And each and every wall does have a rampart. And you'll notice that this is the only time that you can actually see the footpath. It's not very easily seen on the way out to the island. Initially I wanted to make the island a lot bigger, like a multi-tier fortress, and the smaller island, maybe the equivalent of what that one is over there. Make that into that, and that one twice as big, and have another one under here. But once again, I'll just point out, yeah, not easy to do. Ebonheart Pack, dragons. You knew you were going to see a dragon in there somewhere. I rest my case. And well lit up thanks to the Daedric braziers. And as you can see, the wall is lovely, accessible nature. I can run around. So in all, it is designed to be a fortress. It is a fort. It's got a lot of men in it. Well, I apologize. A lot of soldiers, warriors, warrioresses, healers, and archers, of course. And the idea is to defend the keep. And this is the new keep. So I had to break the line up a little bit. And put the shield in, of course. Now I've even added a roof. So you got seating around. Of course, the crafting stations, merchants and bankers, more crafting stations. The mess hall, the kitchen, cooking up for the army, and then access to, once again, the higher ramparts of the keep. I will be adding in more siege weapons and also access to every balcony for the defenders. Look after them. And once again on this side as well, same thing. Just about fell off. And roof access. Now this is where the commandant sleeps. He decided it was too hot in this area and decided to green up the place. And because of running out of materials, this place was very interesting as well, but it has slowly decreased in numbers. But a lot of the concept ideas and stuff came from a good friend of mine who's called Tinkerbells. And this is her flower, sitting right here. Hi, Tinkers. And she's been absolutely awesome for giving brilliant feedback for everything that's happened in this house. There's that blue glue look, by the way. And yes, I added the trees and stuff just because I saw another player's house who turned this desert, hot feeling building into a very cool, relaxing, lush palace. It was very well done. So I had to add my own little extra to that. So, into the main building, I was desperately running shy of bits and pieces to do this room. I pulled out a hell of a lot of decorations just to finish it. And like I said, I used my storage chests to fill it up a bit more. But this room was meant to be the armory. Have many weapons. If you extinguish the fire, this is the only item in the current production line that looks like stacks of weapons. And the devs will come to the party later on and it will improve. So I'm mixing it with some Craglawn sword sconces. And then of course fill in little areas with chests and a few more lights. And a fort without a bar, really? Do you want a mutiny? So of course there has to be a bar. But at this stage, very stripped down and better because once again, item numbers. But I kind of like how it turned it out. This is an amalgamation of ideas from people like Talon, Damien, Damien Dusk, and Mediocre Medic, and also Wolfman, the original founders. They will be quite shocked to see this room now. Also built a wall in here. Unfortunately, different material again, so it had to look like the new owners had done some work. And I created a feature wall. But in here is the barracks. So each man gets his own sideboard, one drawer per bed, and of course a personal chest. Shared. Unless they're higher ranking, then they get an extra. And that went all the way down here, both sides. Lighting, once again, it's about numbers of items. I did have quite a few lights in here, but one Daedric eliminates all of those lights. 2 Daedrics makes it good. So, but did pretty good on the wall. Made a reasonably good NCO quarters, and managed to make the doorway look at least semi-presentable. And then upstairs, we needed a bit of a relax area for the guys. Some gaming boards and stuff would be nice, and some dice, but we'll get there one day. And then, of course, some more barracks and NCO quarters, or officer quarters, so to speak. So this is the fort. I tried to be as creative as possible. There is only one other area to show you, which I am loath to show you in its current state. But once again, like I said, it's numbers. This is meant to be like a functional fort, and defenses, and like water with the well, and all the rest of the bits and pieces to make it semi-functional. Bedding and cooking and everything. But I've saved this part to last, because this is what I would love to have finished. So remember that gate down here that led out into the fishing hole? Well, there's a little bit more I didn't show you. And this was meant to be a crypt. So I wanted to make it really old and ancient looking. I think it did alright. A couple of braziers going on there. And inside was meant to be the crypt area, and this is where I ran out of space. So little icons, blue lighting, and there's going to be piles of gold. Moolah gold. And I wanted to make a lot of shrines, little dedications, and more piles of gold and chests. So hopefully if the devs ever get around to increasing the numbers, I'll be able to do a add-on to this viewing, and you will see splendors of wealth in there, and a circular rock that's going to act as a door. You know, gotta have something. So, welcome to my fortress. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I really have taken this place through so many different stages and variations and different looks and styles. At one stage, the waters around here were filled with fish, and fishing implements, and a wharf and fishing boats. And now it's converted from a home with a wee fishing village, so to speak, into a fortress. I'm kind of partial to it. It looks good. I am biased though, so your opinions are very, very welcome. I hope you enjoyed it, and as we leave this fortress one night, I will come back and I will give you a view of the darkness version, the midnight hour tours, so to speak. But thanks for viewing, and au revoir.